Hi, Jordan.
Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to another awesome episode of the Community Corner podcast. I'm Arnav.
And I'm Nikhil, and today we're diving into a topic that shook things up during the COVID-19 pandemic, e-commerce.
Yeah. So, the pandemic changed the game for how we shop and do business. Well, not really, but it just accelerated a very vast and high potential industry, right? And so in this episode, we're going to chat about how people from all walks of life, including teenagers, like some of our high school friends, which we'll indulge into later and give more examples of, jumped on the online shopping bandwagon and explore the world of drop shipping through platforms like Shopify.
For sure. So let's start off by talking about that incredible e-commerce surge during COVID-19.
Yeah, it was crazy. A lot of people, they were staying indoors. They had a lot of time for online shopping. Amazon deliveries became huge, and the industry was there, but it just kind of brought into a lot of the consumers' minds that, wait, this is a possibility and we can use it for potential. And it's not just in the consumers' minds. A lot of entrepreneurs realized it as a mode of money and innovation, and they realized that they can attack this market share and just, use it for high potential.
Yeah, and I think it all kind of comes down to demand. I think once we got into that lockdown, right, obviously there was a surge in demand for these, these goods and things that could be sold online, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think e-commerce started to become a big thing. And I feel like the stats backed it up as well. From what I read last night, I think it was about $400 trillion worldwide.
I think you read 4 trillion. 4 trillion is crazy.
Yeah.
4 trillion.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. I'm tripping. Slept like 2 hours last night.
Yeah. SAT?
Yeah, which is, that SAT too,
The SAT too in the morning? All right.
Yeah, and anyways, that's obviously a mind-boggling number, even if it wasn't 400 trillion. And the crazy part is that it wasn't just for big businesses, right? Everyday people, including high school people, right? College students, college dropouts, things like that. They all got into the action.
Yeah, speaking of everyday people, we've got a bunch of friends who actually took advantage of this new industry. One of our friends, we'll call him Dave, okay?
Dave.
Yeah, just didn't want to put him out there, but Dave, right? He's pretty tech savvy, didn't waste any time. He realized that this industry had so much potential. He explored Dave explored different online business models, but the one that stuck to him was drop shipping, and it was passive income, and it was easy to set up, and he found multiple ways to create potential from this industry. So Shopify is a place where you can do drop shipping and lets you run an online store without stocking inventory, and many of them set up their own online shops using platforms like Shopify, selling products directly to customers without the hassle of making or shipping the product. So for example, let's say I want to create an online store for selling niche minimalist watches. I don't have to manufacture it. I don't have to ship it. All I do is I find it somewhere on a cheap store like Alibaba, which is offshore buying, like let's say in China, where prices are like 5 times cheaper there. Sell it for a higher price on my store, market it, and make that money back.
For sure. And I think, with that, we have to think about the practicality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the practicality, I think there's a lot of benefits. Obviously, there's a lot of challenges, right? And I think one of the best parts about this whole industry is that it's very flexible, right? The chance to earn money even when you're not actively working, right? Getting that passive income.
Exactly.
At the same time, gaining valuable entrepreneurial skills is something that's almost unmatched, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are tending to prefer this nowadays, that because they're not having to work that 9 to 5, but rather they're able to work their own hours, working whenever they feel like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people, maybe they prefer to work late at night. Some people prefer to work early at morning, and I think this is a great opportunity for those kinds of people.
It just provides that freedom and flexibility for people. Just using Dave as an example, obviously he's a high schooler. We got work to do. We got classes to go to. But he still made money. And for people who had like a 9 to 5, it just provided as an opportunity to make an additional source of income. Bring in the extra money and just, maybe you can provide for a vacation once a year.
Yep.
So that was a really cool part of it. And that's a very, very big pro of it.
For sure. And I think like on the flip side of things, one of the biggest cons is actually the cost of marketing. I think, there's a lot of challenge in this industry. There's a lot of fierce competition, especially over the past few years during that COVID surge, right?
Exactly.
And so it's really important to make sure those customers are happy that you're offering a service or a product that's still in demand, right? That's still needed.
And it provides and you still need like an initial investment. For example, like Shopify has a monthly fee, right? And providing that initial investment, you need to have enough returns to not only break even but make enough money to put all that money, like time and effort, to not to waste. To be fair, it is a very easy system, but you have to find a very niche product that's suitable for the market today. For example, Dave, like that example, minimalist watches. He realized that there was a very big demand at that time, which was, during COVID 2020 to 2021. He realized that there was a very big demand for minimalist watches. He found the best ones he wanted from Alibaba, set it up as a store, and he made good money. But not everyone can find such a niche, high in demand product like that. And so finding that is a really tough part. Another thing, which is a big con, is putting enough time and money for effective marketing, because there's no other way for people to reach your store other than advertising, which includes Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, promoting through big celebrities or people with high following. One of our friends has 5K Instagram. If I could just tell him, okay, I'll pay you $10. Can you please post this on your story or something? That will gain some traction. So put in that work, put in the effort, but once you do that, it obviously has a lot of upside.
Right, this isn't just your local McDonald's where you can just start flipping a sign around just saying, hey, come check out my restaurant down the street, right? This is something you've got to take the initiative to market mostly online, because obviously everything you're selling is going to be online.
Yep.
And so to kind of wrap this episode up, I think the e-commerce, especially during COVID, really opened up a host of opportunities for people of all ages, right? Including high school friends of ours and other people, right, during that age, to venture into online business and entrepreneurship. And so I think it's very inspiring to see how they adapted and thrived during such a challenging time, right? I think COVID really brought light to this, and maybe that was one of the pros of during this time period, and a sea of cons, of course. And so e-commerce truly opens that door to endless possibilities.
Yep, and I think on that note, it's time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today on this episode of the Community Corner podcast. We hope you found these stories and insights inspiring and relatable. So stick around for more episodes. That's it for us today. Peace.